I'll be riding along with Christine. My name's Christine Riccio. Hi. I'm wearing a bandana that I put on my dog yesterday. So the last we spoke, I finished draft 3 of my 3rd novel that I still can't tell you about. Right now you're talking to Christine from June 18th, 2023. But Christine, right after I handed in the draft 3, kept working. And that is where we're gonna pick up with this vlog, because I was working on the first draft of my 4th book. Let's jump right into that journey, shall we? It's been, I want to say 2 weeks since I handed in book 3, but I got my book 4 notes on Wednesday and it's now Saturday. I'm now having all these ideas and I'm excited to dive in, and I just had like one particular idea. It starts in the opening scene and I kind of want to run it by Kat before I go digging into it, because I can't tell if it's a little too wild or not. It's gonna be great or it's gonna be like, stop. I'm watching a movie that Natasha recommended to help spark ideas and creativity, and I am enjoying it. But sometimes watching something new sparks something new, and that's the best. I've yet to actually dive in, but I've been thinking about diving in all day, which is more than I've been doing the last 2 days. I've been in a headspace where I just process, and now I'm feeling ready to write. But I want to go in with the idea I think is gonna work, and I think I need to mull this one over for more than like 20 minutes. I want to run it by Kitten. I really trust her instincts there, because she's a storytelling wizard, and if something's not gonna work, she'll usually like know immediately. My house is clean. It's been like professionally clean for the first time since last July, which is a relief because I'm a terrible house cleaner. I do my best, and my best isn't very good. I'm more just decluttering than anything else. It is April 23rd and I have a deadline for my book 4 act 1 and my book 4 synopsis, and it's May 16th. I'm just so excited to start rolling on book 4. Have it actually moving because I love it so much. I started working on the new draft of it last night on page 9 of 135. Yeah! So we're gonna start easy with a 25-minute sprint. You set a timer for 25 minutes.
This year a little bit different, when it in February. Everywhere I look, I still see you.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about how sometimes you meet people and there's some quality of them that you think is so interesting, and it sparks an idea for like a whole character, you know, in a book, if you're a writer. And like that person, you don't necessarily like become close to, or it doesn't necessarily stay in your life for very long, but now they are in your life forever because you always remember that you took this thing about them and we're like, that's really cool. I'm going to incorporate that into a character, and they're like forever with you and you're like a blip on their radar for the rest of time. It's so fascinating. I mean, that's how a lot of art comes. You're just inspired by somebody and they end up in your thing, and for you they're like immortalized forever, and for them you're like some random almost, I mean, not some random, but you know, like for them, you were there and gone. And for you, because you were inspired to make some art, they're like forever immortalized in your story. Of course, the character that was maybe like inspired, or like the aspect of a character that was inspired by this person, can grow its own consciousness and it becomes its own thing. But like, you always know, if you think about it for a second, you're like, oh yeah, I was inspired by this person. Yeah, it's fascinating. But like, as a person who's very nostalgic and likes to like hold on to memories and have them to flip through, I love that, because I love that maybe if I hadn't done this, I would have forgotten about this, but now it's like a photo in an album. When it hits me, I'm like, oh yeah, and then I remember everything else. This is what people don't think about when they're like, I don't want to take any pictures of this event, or I don't want to take any pictures of this. Like, pictures are annoying. That event is gonna fade from your mind and you're never gonna remember it happened eventually if you don't take a picture. And then a picture, one picture with people in it, is gonna spark a bunch of memories from that event. But if there's no picture, the event just disappears into the abyss. I just hate the hipster idea that like, You have to be completely present, and if you take a picture, you're an annoying pain in the ass. No. If you're completely present, doesn't matter how present you are, it will start to fade because there's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen in your life. I used to go to concerts and not take any pictures or like not take any videos because I wanted to be completely present. Those concerts, I don't remember anything that ever happened. Like the Red concert, I remember nothing. I took 2 snapshots of Taylor Swift and I was in the pit. I was in such like a euphoric blackout. I just remember being here and she was right there and like, that's it. But I didn't take any videos. What was I thinking? You know, I was thinking I want to be in the moment, but I don't remember any of the moments. I remember Ed Sheeran. I don't remember Taylor Swift. If only I knew my own advice back then. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I woke up this morning and did some immediate writing and then fell into a tizzy as I tried to take care of some maid of honor duties. I've got 2 maid of honoring gigs happening right now. I've been working on my lead character's job a little bit, molding it into something slightly different, laying out her backstory a little bit more throughout the first 4 chapters. I'm trying not to panic. You know what's got me the most panicked? The bridesmaid stuff. I am gonna make a matcha. I had to take Bellamy with me to the grocery store today, and I had to get too much stuff to take Bellamy. It was a whole thing.
Another pint for me, friend, extra warm.
Your accent blows.
When you're down in the dumps and need some cheering up, seas, you know you want to. Come on. Good afternoon! Good afternoon! Decorum like your Judy Party day. Good afternoon! It's time to party, the words can totally change the tune.
I've just been ruminating on the fact that I've been like so at peace these I've been just feeling at peace the last day, and it's because I've just been reading on all my breaks. I'm reading Yours Truly and loving it, and when I'm not doing that, I'm writing my book and I'm not like down to the wire yet. And when I'm not doing that, I'm listening to the audiobook for Happy Place by Emily Henry. I love reading. I love reading books that I'm really enjoying. I love writing, and I love when I don't have the pressure of like any social engagements hovering over me at the moment. And even though there's a lot of stuff that I have on my plate, it just doesn't feel as stressful because I am reading. Sometimes I forget that reading is like a form of self-care for me, and I don't make time for it or prioritize it when I'm on a deadline, and I forget that I should make time for it. If I give myself like at least 20 minutes of just luxury time every day, my mental health is so much more at peace. I have been working on this same section of the novel now, it feels like, for 24 hours, because I'll spend an hour on 3 paragraphs because I'm just trying to nail, you know, it's the setup. You gotta get everything set up right. I'm tweaking the scene that I'm working on right now because Kat pointed out something that felt like unrealistic, and I was like, you're right, let me fix that. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to fix it. So it's going a little slowly. I've been like working in bursts because I really want to finish both the books I'm reading as well. Because I was just like too giddy from reading the scene. I was like, oh my god, this scene is so good. I can't even handle it. I think this might be my favorite scene so far of book 4, but I can't tell. I just like couldn't. What's happening? Why is my like sweater tucked into my leggings? I had so much fun writing the scene the first time around and the second time around, and now I'm just like it's especially fun right now because some of these details I just wrote the last round through, so I don't even remember them because then I immediately switched to book 3, and it's just like so much fun. I love this book, I love these characters, and I love just free writing their romance and like watching it happen. I love having no outline for them. Okay, I think I'm gonna get back to it. I was having a dance party, but I had to turn off the music to talk to you.
Much later.
Oh my god, I've reached a kiss scene, and it's like a first drafty kiss scene, and it's hurting my soul. I can't read it yet, I'm not ready. I started, and I was like,
not just this scene, but like the whole lead up to this scene, I like overwrote a bunch. That's what you do in your first draft sometimes. You write repetitively. So I've been like cutting a lot of stuff out. I can't even deal with it. I can't deal with it. Like I can't handle it. Because people read it and I can't, not people like random people, but like my agent read it, Kat read it, and people read it and it's not ready. I have to go over it 1,000 times to get past this. I'm gonna put some music on so it won't hurt as much. Like reading it without music in the background is almost like making the words pop more and like, oh, I've loved this so much up to this point, and now I'm like, it's burning me. It's burning. There's another one coming up later. It's gonna hurt even more because I didn't go. That one is like even rougher. There's too many pillows. What is this nonsense? All right, I'm gonna go back in. Feel a little better after venting. Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning of the scene again and just like read through with music, and then maybe hopefully it won't stop when I get to the kiss. It won't hurt me. It won't hurt me. Like this literally happens to me every time. I made it a couple sentences in. Oh boy, 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 oh boy. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Hello and welcome to April 29th. Do you really want to know where I was April 29th? It's in my apartment, writing book 4, more editing act 1 of book 4. And I haven't been able to hit a groove in a couple days. I've been going really slow, I think, because I've been having some anxiety. I've been having to do a lot of like maid of honor bachelorette stuff. Organizing maid of honor bachelorette stuff, knowing that there's 14 people, just makes me anxious because I'm like so anxious about upsetting everybody when I'm trying to organize things. I'm designing something for everyone to wear and I'm like, oh my god, what if no one likes it? Anyway, I'm making dinner at 3:30 because I have to take the dog out around 5:15 and I will be starving if I don't eat before him because we take an hour and a half to 2 hour walk because he's slow and we're walking with the neighbors, which is nice, but also slow. Last night I had a point where there was like heavy lifting, so I'm at the last chunk that I wrote before I gave it to my agent. You can tell it's the last chunk. Around like page 85, it started getting like really like, what are you saying? Not what are you saying, but like repetitive at times. And like, okay, this needs to be restructured. Like there's short chapters that I needed to restructure, but it's like, it still takes more brain power because you're like, okay, how can I optimize how I'm saying this? This doesn't really make sense, so we have to like bring this around. It's like repuzzling, and repuzzling takes more brain power and it slows you down. Are you kidding? You just heated up. I put my potato in like 10 minutes ago. Irrelevant. Oh! Listening to the How I Met Your Mother playlist because they've got some really good shit on there. Now that I've reached this second datey section, I'm like, it's just not fluid right now, and there's like too many details in some parts, not enough details in others, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Christine. Sometimes I describe one aspect of something over and over and I'm like, oh, let's stop. And then sometimes I like don't describe the setting at all. They're just talking forever. I'm like, what is this? What is this? It's gonna be fine, but it's a long way to get through a paragraph when you're feeling mortified about someone else reading it. I gotta let it go, and I will let it go. I will, alright? But right now I'm a little freaking out. Someone just walked by the window and they could definitely hear me. Goose frab. Ever since I did the Millennial vs. Gen Z episode of our podcast, Those Forking Fangirls, hit it up on your favorite podcast app. I've just been feeling extra old. It just like kind of highlighted the fact that I'm up on the next layer of adult right now. Like, new adults are Gen Z. The next level up is millennial. We're not the new adults. We're just like here. We've been here for 10 years. Anyway. I got a bathing suit for my friend's bachelorette. The only time I ever buy new bathing suits is when I have like an event. And hopefully it fits. And I also got a cool cover-up. I don't have any cool cover-ups, so now I'll be vaguely in style instead of wearing Sophie shorts as a cover-up like I did at my other best friend's bachelorette. Because I don't wear bathing suits. I don't go to the pool or the beach with without regular clothes. I get cold and the sun is too strong. There's a line in this draft where she's like, I'm not here for you, and I can't not read it. I'm not here for you. Will anyone be able to read it not as a Hamilton lyric? And I know many people will be able to read it not as a Hamilton lyric. Not everyone has memorized all the Hamilton lyrics. But in my mind, they have. How could they not read that? I'm not here for you. I love my sister more than anything in this life. It's April 30th. It's April 30th. Shit. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. I just made an amazing matcha. The key to making a great matcha at home is less is more in terms of the oat milk. Like, don't overfill your cup because then it dilutes the matcha and it's not as delicious. Because if you put too much stuff, you have to put a shitload of matcha and then the matcha's gonna give you stomachache. Anyway, rewriting these scenes that I am embarrassed that people read is the bane of my existence. I haven't gotten much further since the time we last talked. Last night I had like a whole crisis about it. I was just like having anxiety spirals all night. And then I proceeded to have them all the way through my dreams. It's been a fun 24 hours. But I'm gonna try to dive back in now. I've got about an hour and 15 minutes before our Booksplosion Eras tour begins. We're going once a month doing like the years of Booksplosion memories and such for our last year of Booksplosioning. On page 99 of 139. We're making progress finally. Last night I just kept staring at it and being mad at it. And then this morning I started changing things around. So I keep forgetting to wash my hair. Hello, it is May 8th and I can't believe I am coming at you once again in this fucking sweatshirt. But so much exciting stuff has been going on the past couple days. I had to switch from working on Act 1 of Book 4 back to Book 3 because I got the email being like, hey, we need your Pinterest board for what you want the cover to look like. I had to figure out what I want the cover to look like, so I put together a whole thing. I had to come up with the back of the book copy. Writing the synopsis was so hard for this one. I hate synopsises. I'm actually gonna warn you when I say the synopsis that like if you want to know nothing, which is the best way to go into my books, I believe, knowing nothing, because it's so much fun just to like roll with the story. I'm just gonna warn you so you can turn it off when I say the synopsis, and I can give you like the baby synopsis so you know like an idea. I was frustrated at first, but when I finished that back of the book synopsis, I felt so good. I was like, oh my god, I'm just so excited about this book. I'm so excited for it to be real because because for so long now it's felt like it's just like a secret book that only I have. Once it gets a cover and a release date, it's real. It's real. I can't wait to share it with you. Making a Pinterest board, it just takes so long. So like I spent these not today, a lot of Saturday and a lot of Sunday going through Pinterest boards and shit and just finding what I want my book to look like. I have to make a Pinterest board of all book covers that have the vibe that I want for my book cover. I feel like I would love to share that with you, but maybe after I get the cover. And I can do that. You know what I could do that with? I could do it again, but better, because I haven't looked at that board in a long time. And I went back and looked at it, and they did a really good job of incorporating like a lot of the things that I put on that board and making them into the again but better cover. I was like very odd about it once I went back and looked at the board. We could do that right now. But wait, before we do that, I also had to give them comps. Books that my book is like. There's no books that like direct comp my book. There's comps that comp the tone and like the romance, but like the actual things that are happening in the book, like I've never read a book with that comp. I can comp it to like a movie or TV show. I have a comp of one of those mashed with a rom-com book. That's my like major comp. I'm gonna show you the Pinterest board. So this is the cover of Again But Better. And this is my cover Pinterest board. I knew I wanted it to be like divided. So I pitched that, like something that's like not in color, walking into something great, like bright. And so I found all these kind of like split images that I really love this. I love this. I love this. Like I love this Anna and the French Kiss cover. I love this one, Katie McCassidy. I loved the Stargazer's Sister. Like I remember putting this in an email. I was like, I want something like this. And look, like the line looks so similar to that. Now, what I didn't realize for the longest time, I have all these Beatles images because I really felt like that connected to this book so much because there's so much walking. Like a lot of character development happens on different walks with characters. London, like the joy of London for me is all in the exploration of the city, the walking around. That is so captured by this Beatles cover, the Abbey Road cover. It wasn't until I went back to this, I was like, wait a minute. Shane is literally walking like on Abbey Road on the cover. I remember I like pitched her doing something like walking, but I didn't connect how the artist took the images on this board and like did the walking just like that. It's just like that. It's so cool. It looks like when Katie Met Cassidy meets the Stargazer sister, meets this image of the Beatles and this image of the Beatles. So many of these. I loved this image of the Beatles so much. They did a spectacular job.
Future editing Christine just popping in here to let you know that Again But Better's on Kindle Unlimited right now. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read Again But Better for free, which is so cool! Future editing Christine popping in here to say next writing video I'd love to incorporate some Q&A because it's been so long since I did writing related Q&A. I used to do that all the time in these writing videos. So if you do have any writing or like writing adjacent Q, please leave them in the comments and I will incorporate them into the next video. Thanks y'all. This is how I edit.
Next time on The Trials and Tribulations of Writing a Book. Will Christine ever get a grip and stop freaking out when she edits a romantic scene? Will she be able to basically finish an entire outline for book 4 despite outlines being the devil? Will that random bathing suit she ordered online even fit? Does everyone not know the Hamilton lyrics? Tune in next time for The Trials and Tribulations of Writing a Book.